Yeah, yep.
Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to Live Food Detox. And if you want to email us a question, it's at www.livefooddetox at gmail.com. So today, Angie and I are going to be talking about the body, the lymphatic system, live life-giving liquids and foods and herbs. And we have a couple of questions that we can go over, and we have a topic today, which is basically without proper hydration and nutrition, the body will systematically shut itself down because there's not enough energy to run everything. And the last two things that will protect is your ability to breathe and your heart's ability to pump blood. And it will shut everything else down. And it will do it in a systematic fashion. So I'd like everybody to say hello to Angie, and let's get the show on the road. Hi, Angie.
Hi. Glad to be
So,
here.
so, have you got any questions or anything you want to talk about or ask or explain?
I know questions that have been coming in for arthritis, pain, issues with sleep, just kind of the overall similar issues that many of us have had. And so we just wanted to discuss, what is going to help these issues? What is similar in affecting these and, treating them without medications?
Hmm.
As I know, many people are on sleep meds. I've been there myself. Not there anymore, thankfully. So it's possible.
So, are you sleeping?
I am sleeping.
Well,
Yes,
okay. So it's important to know that you were on sleep meds for how long?
16 years.
16 years?
Long time.
Wow.
I struggled with insomnia.
Wow. How long did it take to get off of them?
Oh, um, that was probably 6 months. I'm not positive. I was pretty sick during that period of
Hmm.
time. So, trying to remember, I had a lot of brain fog then, and I just wanted off.
Hmm.
And I had the help of some people on group because
Hmm.
doctors were pretty clueless when it came to tapering,
Hmm.
but you have to do it in an appropriate way, obviously, without having major side effects from withdrawal. So yeah, it was not a fun time, but I am extremely ecstatic that I no longer have that issue. I am sleep fine. I get tired at night, and I haven't had that feeling in years on my own.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, you brought up a great point. How we wean ourselves, let's say, from the medications. Because would you say these medications are addicting?
Oh, extremely,
Okay. Physically and mentally.
definitely.
Okay. So it's important how we wean ourselves off of these, and that we listen to our body, because our body is the one that's addicted,
Exactly.
and mentally we're addicted because we're used to taking that pill. So you think that you can't go to sleep without it after a while. I would assume after 16 years that you felt that way.
It was a nightly ritual, yes, of
So
feeling.
let me ask you, at what point did you decide that you were going to try to get off of them? What made you think that? What?
I wanted off of them at many different points, and I tried several different times without success. Mainly because I didn't have help. I didn't have proper help in knowing how to get off of them. Also, I was very sick with the adrenal issues
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
with my cortisols, and it took a process. It wasn't just getting off of them, it was helping my body function better too in the process. So once things started to get more regulated, it kind of went hand in hand.
And what do you feel helped you finally kick this habit?
My determination, my frustration of having a pill run my life. I hated the fact that I was hooked to this pill that every night it was a ritual, like you said. It was, okay, what time is it? Okay, I have to go take it, and then I have to sit for half an hour or whatever to try and, have that period of time before I actually do go lay down. I mean, I felt, and I've said many times, I felt like I was 100 years old, hooked to this. I couldn't go, do things with people because I had to be home at this certain time. It had to be, pretty much the same time or close to it every night to stay on a regular cycle, which oddly, that's what our body, if I was to look back and go, my body was needing that. It was needing that regularity. And even when my insomnia was so bad, I wasn't going to bed till 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Was the pill really helping me? Not really. At that point.
Do you think nutrition had a lot to do with you being able to get rid of the pills?
Oh, definitely. Yes. If I hadn't have started this, I don't know that I would have been able to kick it as well as I did.
So, over the process of, did you go from I don't know how many you took, but a pill to a half a pill or 3/4 of a pill, or?
It was definitely had to cut very minimal. I mean, you had to cut just by I don't remember if it was milligrams, but it had to be tiny bit at a time. I would try more at a time, and it didn't work. I would go from literally I could sleep the night before, and then the next night or the next couple nights it would throw me off that much by just cutting too much.
Okay.
So it has to be in very, very small increments.
Now, were you changing your diet at that time too?
Yes.
Okay. So you were alkalizing your body. Were you doing juices and liquids then? Juices and green smoothies and things then?
I think at that point I was introducing more smoothies. I hadn't gotten into all the juicing yet, but definitely changing up what I was eating previously and adding in the smoothies, and I think more salads at that point, but just overall more live foods. The Master Cleanse, yes, I had been on that.
Okay. So, could you feel your body getting stronger?
Oh, during the period of withdrawal, no.
Okay.
Obviously, there was just so much going on at that time. I mean, I was very, very, very sick at that point. So feeling stronger, no, not with going through the withdrawal. After, yes, I mean, I definitely could feel it. It was probably a couple to a few months later because that withdrawal can hang on, and that definitely was there.
Yes, absolutely. So, you must be saving money not buying that stuff.
It's all going into my food now.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's a good thing, because everything we can eliminate from highly processed foods and sugars and medications and even supplements, and have live, life-giving foods to help our body detox, and green smoothies. Matter of fact, I'll show you. This is, let's see if I can get it up there. Okay. This is one of my juices right here. I just made this a little while ago. And there is apple cider vinegar in here with the mother. There is real, whoops, let's see if I can get that where it's supposed to be here. Real maple syrup. Not that fake stuff that they put on their pancakes. Some people put on pancakes. There is, whoops. It's the opposite in the camera, that's why. Black seed with cumin in there, about maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon. And in this particular one, I don't have this, but 2 days a week, I put in maca. And maca is a great product. It boosts the adrenals. It is good for the hypothalamus, the thyroid, the liver, and it just gives you more energy in it. And so I do that. I do maca about a teaspoon 2 days in a row, and then I skip 2 days because this builds up in your body. It increases testosterone. It's good for male and female for boosting energy. It's an amazing herb. So usually I have all this in here. There's turmeric in here, black pepper, the black seed, and the maple syrup. And then I have my tea here. And this is something I wanted to bring up. Angie and I talked about this the other day when we first did our first Skype here. This right here, Future Millionaire, anything that's in the future, you're chasing. So when I bought this, I didn't understand that. And I was looking at it one day and I went, Future Millionaire? I want to be a millionaire now. Well, it's the same thing with our health. If we say, I'm going to be healthy in the future because I'm doing this, no, I'm stronger, more flexible, fit, and I think clearer in mind than I've ever thought before because of what I'm doing today, even though it may be a little bit, or even if you have a setback. Keep that mantra, and whatever it is for you, but I am fit, strong, flexible, and I'm learning every day, which keeps my mind clear and sharp. Everybody should have a mantra like that, or whatever it is for them. But a positive mantra that they can fall back on when they're having issues. You know, because as you're detoxing, you're going to have issues. They may be mild. The way that I share with people, and I wanted to say, this right here costs about 35 cents to make. If I do just the apple cider vinegar and the maple syrup and water, I use filtered water, 25 cents. That's it. So I can make 32 ounces of that for 25 cents. Now, there aren't many places you can go and get live liquids and only spend 25 cents for 32 ounces of it. It only takes a... What?
Not in this world.
No, not in this world. So, it's important to realize that keeping yourself hydrated and good nutrients in your body does not take a lot. That's full of vitamin C. I mean, there's everything in there that your body needs. And then we have the Master Cleanse, and we, I believe in the...
Maybe Master Cleanse.
Yes. So in the file on the Facebook page, I believe the recipes are there, so people can just go get them. The Master Cleanse, the apple cider vinegar cleanse. There's a turmeric cleanse. There's a maca cleanse. There's all kinds of things that I've written up and shared on there in the file on the Facebook page, right?
Yep.
Yes.
There.
So you can go there anytime you want, get that recipe, download it, use it. It's free. It's for everyone to use and try to increase their health. Not try, it will. All you have to do is stick with it. And it takes time.
So something that's all awesome, and I love it because you are how I started the Master Cleanse, and it did amazing stuff for me. So I have to thank you for that, and I hope that others will continue or start it that haven't, because they will see the complete difference that it will make. Will your body have issues? Certainly. Yep. Might you feel more sick? Yep, because it's moving that stuff. I know that with myself, that was the case, and, just wondering why. And after speaking with you and just understanding the body, help to know, okay, well, I might feel worse because it's kicking stuff up, and we just got to push through it. Same thing with the skin issues that arise. Many people have seen that for me as far as
Mm-hmm.
the many things that I've had for skin issues. But I continue to go, and it's amazing to see how much better I feel, and the look of things clearing up. I know you and I discussed before this as far as rebounders go.
Mm-hmm.
Is that helpful? I know many people want to know their activity level. Should they do much
Mm-hmm.
or not? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing for them? And again, Gary, you had touched on this as well, like understanding and just listening to your body. Like that was number one key for me, was not listening to, okay, this person says this is going to help. It was, okay, guess what? Do I feel good when I eat this? Nope. Okay, why? And am I going to continue that? So listen, that's a big, big thing with detoxing. It may not work for you what worked for somebody else, but also realizing that even though you might feel worse doing something, it's going to push you through to a better place.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you wanted to talk on the rebounder a little bit, and just for people that aren't
Yeah.
familiar as to what that does and can do.
Well, one of the things that's really great about the rebounder is it doesn't really matter how sick you are as long as you can stand on it. And if you just move your feet just slightly, you'll move up and down. And that is one of the most important movements that you can do to help the lymphatic system. The body will produce peroxide, and when the body produces peroxide, that peroxide will go through and it will seek out weak cells and it will kill them. And it'll move them into the lymph node where they get liquefied, and it helps it move down through so that it can come out through the kidneys. So it's really important. And I don't care if you can only stay on it for 15 seconds or 30 seconds. Because the people that are in pain, they don't want to be on it for a long time. And you might get on it once in the morning and once in the afternoon and again in the evening. Um, the thing to remember is not to push your body past its limits. See how you feel, and just. I just had an issue. I was detoxing actually with water. I was doing a lot, and I was doing a lot of exercises, and I had a lot of. All of a sudden, I just had all this chest pain, and I knew it wasn't my heart because it wasn't deep. It was like heavy. It was right. It was like under my rib cage, but it was pressure. And I was trying to figure out if it was like bronchitis or what it was. But the important thing was, I used to walk a mile a day. When that happened, I could barely walk to the end of the driveway, which was 100 feet. So every day, I'd go out and I'd walk to the end of the driveway and I'd walk back. And no matter how I felt, I said, I did it. Tomorrow, I'm going to do it again. And I kept doing that. And it's been 3 months, and I'm back to walking a mile a day. But that was a pretty long journey, and there were some people that were pretty nervous about it, and I thought about going to the doctors a couple times, but as I asked my body different things, it never really, there was never any alarm with me. My left arm, it never had any tingling or pain or tightness or anything. It was all right here for some reason, and I knew that it wasn't. It was serious, but it wasn't life-threatening. So I just kept more liquids. My detox, my turmeric really helped a lot with that. And I just got the maca the other day. That's been helping a lot. Um, but, and I was telling Angie, for the past 4 years, because of things that happened in my past, watching people get sick and die around me my whole life. Uh, I lost my mom to cancer. She was 58. My dad to hardening of the arteries. He was 68. and my sister to breast and lung cancer. She was 41. And I was never satisfied or content with what the doctors were doing. I knew that there was something missing. And for the past 20 years, I have been on this journey, and I knew I was going to either run into somebody who could explain it or figure it out. Well, both things happened. So the American Medical Association and doctors never look at the lymphatic system. Yet, hardening of the arteries, lung cancer, breast cancer, anything that's involved, that's all on the lymphatic side of the body. All of it. MS, Lou Gehrig's disease, HIV, that's all on the lymphatic side. Excuse me. And all they want to talk about is the blood. Well, the body will actually kill itself trying to keep the blood alkalized. So when they test the blood, yep, your blood's it's all, your blood's good, Well, that's great, but I have something wrong. And what is it? Well, I don't know. Because they will not talk about the lymphatic side of your body. And we were just talking about your body is split right in two. Right from here, right down. You have a left and right hemisphere of your brain. You have a left and right eye, nostril, ears, lungs, kidneys, legs, arms. I mean, you split right down the middle. You can actually get sick on one side of your body, and it can be life-threatening. And the other side may be having issues, but it's not life-threatening. So you have to understand that you're dealing with two sides. When they take your blood pressure and they put the blood pressure equipment on your arm, okay, and they say your blood pressure is 80 over 100 or whatever, right? Where do they get that number? What in your body is creating that pressure? Do you know what it is? No? Top number is adrenal, and the bottom number is kidneys.
Your kidneys, yep,
yes.
That's right.
Okay. Well, if you have two, why don't they check both sides?
True.
Okay. They should, because this side of your body is running at a different pressure than this side. You always have one kidney that's weaker than the other. You have one lung that's weaker than the other. It's just the natural flow of things. And but they never do that. And they never talk about that. Just like they never talk about blood pressure around the world is not the same as it is here. So what's normal there may be too high here, or it may be too low here. But it's not the same. It's not standard around the world. And when you see these guys lifting 500 pounds, do you think their blood pressure is different than when they were sitting in the office? You can put a lighter under your arm, heat a lighter up, put it under your arm, and your blood pressure will go up.
Interesting.
So it's.
You want to demonstrate that one?
Yeah. So the weird thing is, they test and test and test and test and test, and then they give you a suppressant, antibiotic or some type of drug that suppresses the body, and it doesn't allow it to eliminate. And that natural act of the body is to eliminate what it doesn't use, the toxins. Okay? Now, a lot of people may say, well, I only have one mouth, and when I go to the bathroom, it only comes out in one place in this system, right?
Yeah.
That's not actually part of your body. That's a tube that runs all the way through you. It has an inlet and an outlet. And everything goes in, it gets all processed, right? And liquid absorbs through the walls of the first foot of the small intestine, and that's the nutrients that goes into your body. So it's actually exterior. That whole thing is exterior. And that's why there's only one of each. And it is one of the channels of elimination, though. We have 13 channels of elimination. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And if I stood up, the front would be 10. The back would be 11. The skin, which is the third kidney, which is also the largest eliminative organ in the body, is number 12. And the very most important one, and the 13th one, is the mind. Because what you're clinging to in life is repeated in the body. Anger goes to the liver. If you're pissed off, it goes to the bladder or the kidneys. So everything, every emotion you have is connected to an organ or a gland in your body. So until you are able to let go of the things that you're stuck on, the things you're clinging to, whether it's a relationship or how bad your life is right now, or the lack of money. Lack of money goes to the small of the back. People who have a lot of issues with the small of their back, a lot of that is emotional. So that's why when I'm working with people, if the live liquids and the herbs aren't working, then we have to go to emotion. Because I call them energy cysts. They get trapped in the body. And those energy cysts can cause major, major issues with your body. And a lot of pain, not so much inflammation, but, as your body is building toxic waste up inside it, then that's where you get inflammation and pain. That's where the arthritis she was talking about, that's where that comes in.
Right. Getting back to that, the pain and the inflammation and the conditions like arthritis and
right.
everything's inflammatory that way. And I know that people think, okay, what's my way of having to fix this one issue then? Isn't it different? No, it's not. I know we just discussed that earlier. It's all going to be the same in healing the body. We just have to continue to do those same things to clean the body out. But it's going to take time. It's not going to be an overnight deal. It's not going to be a couple months deal. We didn't get this sick overnight.
Absolutely
correct. Issues didn't start a year ago. When I look back on my thing, my whole history, it's like, yep, I can picture this way back in junior high when things started to go amok. And so, was I healthy through those years? Yeah, I looked it. I didn't, I wasn't crashing. I wasn't having major adrenal issues then, but I was having a lot of other things that they just kept medicating. Well, we're going to give you this steroid. We're going to give you these antibiotics. We're going to put you on this pill. And all that continued to do was create more acids in my body, which I didn't know at the time.
Right.
But with knowing that knowledge now, it's understanding that anything that you're dealing with, whether it be arthritis, insomnia, anxiety, depression, all of these things can be healed through what we're putting in our body.
Yes, the body can't lie to you.
No.
If you're messing up, it's going to let you know.
Exactly. It's definitely going to.
Yes. And it's going to let you know when you're cleansing it, too. That's why I prefer people cleanse really slow. Some people want them to cleanse really fast. Well, I'm not in that neighborhood. I'm into, this was something we had mentioned earlier, with juices. Sometimes juices get you detoxing too fast. You had that experience. And you have to go back to a green smoothie.
Yeah.
Or a salad. I prefer the green smoothie because it's pre-digested. So even though it gives your digestive system something to work on, there's still some juices getting into your system quickly to help pull those toxins out, soften that tissue up, and help move things along. Take the bowels, for instance. If you took a bowel and cut it across, especially somebody my age, I'm 65, if you take that and cut that across, the mucoid plaque that's built up inside that intestine can be a quarter to a half-inch thick.
Yeah. Insane.
Yeah, it is. It's nuts, you know. And when John Wayne died, he had 55 pounds of mucoid plaque and feces in his intestine, and he was in the hospital. But they don't handle impaction because it's I don't know. I can't even fathom that. I can't even go there. How could you be a medical doctor and not clean that out?
Right.
You know, I mean this is the river of life right here.
Mm-hmm.
And what goes in here and comes out there is what's going to keep you alive. This is the large intestine is life itself. And if it gets, like any river, if it gets clogged, that river starts to get stagnant. And stagnation is either something that's already died or it's on its way to dying. So keeping those things cleaned out, getting colonics, doing enemas like you've been doing, and being careful with them, not doing too many.
Yep. Ding, ding, ding. Been there, done that. Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Again, paying attention to our body is key, and listening. You don't want to push it. You need to know when to stop.
And knowing that you have two sides of your body.
Right.
You never hear a doctor say that. It's like people that are having their gums are shrinking, and they have a lot of cavities. Their mouth is too acidic. So there's two ways to check your acidity. One is to get one of those little acid strips and put it in your mouth. The other one is to take a strip and pee on it. But if you do pee on it, don't put it in your mouth and check that. But one is the acidity that's in your body, and the other is the acidity that's in your mouth. And what's happening, plaque on your teeth, you go get your teeth cleaned, that's like a total ripoff. Your mouth is too acidic. And my mouth was horrifyingly bad. The whole time I was growing up, I've been to more dentists, and they have done, I mean, I can't go where what the things that they've done. To me, they were, not one ever said, you know, Gary, your mouth could be acidic. No, they drill, they burn, they pull, they rip, they tear, and I don't get it. You know, my last dentist was he was a nice guy. We used to go Harley riding together and everything. And so when I did my first cleanse in 2000, okay, it had probably been 3 months since I've seen him, and I did a 10-day cleanse. And the things that happened to my body were like miraculous, okay? But I had abscesses and puffy gums, and they just start bleeding for no reason, right? In 10 days, they were all shrunken right back down onto my teeth. They were tight, they were pink, they were clean. And when I went in and sat in the chair, he was like shocked. What have you been doing? Your gums, this is the best I've ever seen your gums. And I said, I did the master cleanse. What's that? I told him about it, and he went right back to sleep.
Yeah.
He didn't want to hear about it.
No.
You know?
They're not.
So.
It's going to make him a dime.
And I'd been wearing bifocal glasses from the time I was 6 years old. Day 7, I've never worn glasses since. Because the fluid in your eyes is lymphatic fluid. And I was acidic. As soon as I alkalized my body, my vision came back. And when I eat, right now, because I told you for that 4 years I was doing all this weird eating back and forth, my vision goes in and out by my diet. And there are tons of people out there wearing glasses. If they do a 10-day cleanse, their vision would come back.
10 days, you think? 10 days would do it.
Well, it happened in 7 for me. I lost 20 pounds in that 10 days because of the inflammation and the fluid and all the stuff that had stacked up in my body. As soon as you alkalize it, it dumps it all. It doesn't need it anymore. Fluid trapped in your body is alkalizing, is not alkalizing. It's diluting the acids, trying to keep it from burning your cells. Because that's what acid does. Imagine holding a baby and it poops or pees in his pants, in his diaper. And you wait too long to change it. And you take the diaper off, and what does it have?
Rash.
Yes. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Okay? So if your kidneys aren't filtering, and you're not passing your stool isn't coming out properly, okay? What's happening is that very same thing that burned the cells of that baby's skin is burning you on the inside. And it actually fills up this way. And if it gets up into your head, you can have dizzy spells, pressure in your head. You can have headaches, and especially in your gut, that's where the seat of the autonomic nerve. And you can have shortness of breath. You can have, again, dizzy spells, fainting spells, nausea. I mean, there's a host. There was a whole host of things that could go wrong, and that's bad bacteria in the gut. And it's chewing on the lining of the autonomic nerve, and it's irritating it. So you can have heart palpitations. So these are simple things. Candida. So much bad bacteria in the gut that is traveling through the intestinal system, and it's trying to come out. So that's why you get itching and you get all these different things with candida. It's bad bacteria. And when you change and start alkalizing your diet and building good bacteria, it can fight off that bad bacteria. And you'll return to normal.
So, what are the foods? That's the biggest thing I know I hear from people is what's going to push and what's going to make me better, and why are other things not making me better per se?
With candida, juices made from fresh, whole, ripe, sun ripened preferably, fruits, berries, melons, and vegetables. Now, some people don't want to do the fruits because they're afraid of the sugar, and they shouldn't be, but they are afraid of the sugar.
Right.
So I'll go with
Why,
green.
why shouldn't they be afraid of the sugar? What's the difference?
It's a natural sugar. It's made to be absorbed into your body and provide energy, and it has enzymes and electrolytes. And those enzymes and electrolytes are what charge your body. We're plant-based hydro, meaning liquid. So we are plant-based hydro, energy-producing beings. I had somebody the other day say, well, I focus on calories. Well, what is a calorie? A calorie is a unit of energy. That's what a calorie is. So if it's a unit of energy and it's charging your body, and you get it in the standard American diet, there's no water in it. So you're getting calories with no liquid. And it's liquid and the nutrients together that creates energy. So we're dehydrated. We're supposed to be 70% water. And most of us are running around like at 50 or 55. Every once in a while, somebody might bump up to 60. And once you start drinking these liquids, it takes it a while to get absorbed into the body, into the tissue, because it has to tear that tissue down, soften it up, and eliminate the toxins to get in there to do its job. So it takes a while. And, excuse me, so as your body is regenerating and rebuilding itself, rehydrating, renutrifying itself, that is when you'll start to generate more energy. And the important thing is, once you do get energy, not to go jump on the bike and ride 6 miles,
Mhm.
or do some physical activity where you burn all that energy up. That energy is really important for the healing process. Say it
Right.
takes 10,000 units of energy to run your brain, your respiratory, your heart, your movement. This right here burns energy. Crying burns energy. Speaking burns energy. When you eat, 60% of your energy goes into your gut to digest that food. So if you're eating heavy foods, it's there longer. That's why a lot of times when people eat, and some don't even have to eat a large meal, they fall asleep after they eat. Because all the energy to run that, to digest that food is going there, and you don't have enough left over to run your body. So that goes back to systematically your body will shut down.
And that's where I was. Yep. It was, I couldn't eat. Every time I did, it would lay me out until I understood that the body needed that energy. It was working on trying to heal me. Well, it couldn't do both at the same time.
Right.
You can't work on digesting all those foods and work on healing. That's just, and at some point, a lot of people are at that point, and getting past that point is understanding that you need to have that energy to work on the body. So, what's going to alleviate your body from working on digestion? Well, giving it a rest. If you're going to put in meats that are extremely hard for the body to digest, it's going to take a lot longer to get anywhere. And that was how it was for me until I understood it. Because it was like I kept trying different foods. Well, no, everything was doing it for me until I finally went to the liquids.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and the juices are the quickest. That's
Yeah.
why some people's digestive systems are in such bad shape. When they go to juices, they detox too fast and they have issues.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yep. Then there was the turn of events of doing it too quickly. There was realizing that you have to incorporate and you can't just jump all in and go because, yeah, the fast detox is just as bad, especially if you're not eliminating properly. That's what I was doing too, was stirring up those toxins all up in my body. They weren't going anywhere. And so it was making me even sicker. So getting those systems to eliminate, sweating, making sure you get in soaks so you can get yourself sweating this stuff out. It's got to get out.
Yeah, it has to be eliminated. And one of the first things that people should do, and I post this a lot on Facebook, uh, make sure the kidneys are filtering.
Yeah.
And they do that just by simply taking what looks a lot like this right here.
Yeah.
You pee in it. You set it on the shelf for a couple hours, a little more if you want, and there should be sediment floating in it. And it'll look kind of a whitish color, and it could be on the bottom, but usually it's suspended in it. That's lymphatic waste that came through your kidneys. That's when the kidneys are doing their job. If it's clear, and I don't have anything clear here right now, but if it's clear, then you're in trouble because your kidneys aren't filtering the lymphatic waste out of your body. Okay?
And in order to get them to filter is to do exactly what we were just talking about, correct?
Yes. To get juices going, to help loosen that up. Herbs, too. Herbs are a huge part of this. The herbal teas and tinctures, and here's a echinacea tincture right here. And I have tons of stuff. And we're going to start making our own tinctures, actually.
Awesome.
So, but you have to listen to your body all the time. People ask me all the time, well, what about this? Should I eat this? This isn't about me. This is about listening to your body. And that is such a key element to understand that we're split in two and we can be sick on one side of our body and not the other. That herbs and liquids when you're in trouble is should be your focus. Now, usually when I start people out on liquids, okay, we start small because we don't want to just flood the body because it's too much for the body to handle. It doesn't, it's congested. Sometimes it's stagnation, and it's solid. It's like sulfur in medication is what is used to harden rubber that they make your tires out of on
Awesome.
your car.
Mm.
Well, if it'll harden rubber to the point where you can drive on it, what's it doing inside you? And
Building up.
that's why it's so hard to get rid of, because it's actually solidifying everything. It's supposed to be soft and pliable in there. Well, it's not. It's solidifying and it's hard, and it's got to get in there and penetrate that. So it takes a long time to get sulfur out of your body.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on it, and it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's coming.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Yeah, your eyes are changing a lot. But that's what you're dealing with. It's the exact same sulfur in that medication that's used in the tires of your car. Now, if you have sulfur in fruit, that's different. That's water-soluble sulfur. And your body needs sulfur. But medication, it's astringent, it clogs the body, it stops it from eliminating. I mean, I'm not saying there's not a time that we don't need it, but there's very few times that we need it. And you surely don't need to be on it for the rest of your life. That's the one thing that's really bugging me now is everything is about, and you'll be on this for the rest of your life. Well, no, I don't take medications. If it was life-threatening, I don't know, I'd have to consider it. Because all medications came from plants. And the plants, like, let's take dandelions. You go out and pick a leaf, okay? And I let the leaf pick me, actually. And I pick that leaf, and I pick it up, and I chew it. That leaf is 1,000 times more powerful than even an organic dandelion. And that organic dandelion is about 100 times more powerful than if you extracted something, put it in a dehydrated pill, and took it and swallowed a little bit of water with it. So the other thing about weeds, okay, because that's what they're called, right? Dandelions, plantains, that little round leaf with spikes coming up out of it. Great for your body. There are a picture of those are on Roundup. So you're actually killing the medicine that could heal your body. Now, is that a conspiracy? I don't know, but it's pretty weird. So don't be spraying that stuff. Go out and pick it and eat it. If it's growing in your yard, it's there because you need to have it. And those plants grow all the way around the world. Because every body, now we may not all need apple cider vinegar. We may not all need the Master Cleanse. But we all need to try it because we are all plant-based, hydro-producing electric beings.
Right.
We are all that. And without hydration and without nutrients, we cannot produce electricity. So if you just cover those two things and mix it in with what you're already eating, even if you have what would be considered a bad diet, I don't believe in bad diets. I believe in bad diets for you because we're all individuals. Our bodies are like fingerprints. And they all handle things different. It's like the person you hear, oh, I just saw a video online, the guy's passed now. 103 years old running a marathon, and every mile he stopped to have a beer and a cigarette.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And he's been doing that for years. Okay, so how do you argue with that? And people who live really old that live on junk food. So it isn't their body could handle that, but my body can't handle it.
And it doesn't mean that it's good.
No, it doesn't mean it's good. It's just that they can handle it. So you have to find out what is specifically good for your body. So that goes back to hydration, nutrients, herbs. If you eat something and you're tired or you're lethargic or you fall asleep or you feel heavy and you just can't get out of your own way, your body's having a hard time digesting that. And if you eat something else and you feel light and energetic and full of vitality, stick with that. That's how that actually, that's your body speaking to you all the time. It's talking 24 hours a day. You can't sleep at night, you're inflamed, acidic, and you're stressed. It could be an emotional thing, but once you alkalize your body actually relaxes and it wants to sleep. And that's what happened with you. Once you get off those pills and you started alkalizing your body and your body calmed down, and that's why this mind right here, that's why this is so important to make sure this is the 13th channel of elimination, is to let that go. To become one with self. We are the energy of the universe. We forget that we are infinite beings with infinite potential and infinite intelligence. That's what we were when we were born. And it got culturally programmed out of us. You know, we don't go to nature to visit, it's our home. It provides us with everything. But we've forgotten. We've been domesticated, just like we domesticate a dog. He's waiting for a can of dog food. And what do they have on the bag? Pictures of fruit and fish and vegetables. Pictures. And you slide this brown slimy stuff out of the can. What is that? And they're doing the same thing to our foods.
Yeah.
And
we all wanted a quick fix, you know?
Yeah.
That's what the world wants, is what is going to help me today, right now? Because I don't want to take the time. I literally had a client come into me and say, she knew how toxic she was. She knew the things, her lifestyle, how bad it was. She came in to do a detox, which I just thought was hilarious because she's like, but I'm not going to change anything. So, you know, and I'm just going, okay, but then why are you even here? Because if you want to continue doing what you're doing and you know it and you don't care, I don't really see the correlation. But again, her life, her choice.
Right.
I just think it's interesting. You know, people will just say, yep, I want that quick fix. Okay, but you don't understand what it's doing to you long term until you have to, until you are made to understand because your body won't function. Then you have no choice. But getting back to normal after that is not an easy route. And people don't get that part until they're there. And that's one of the hardest things in trying to explain to people and clients of mine that come in that want to know information, but yet don't really want to do the steps yet because they're not sick enough. And,
Yes.
you know, it's their choice. And that is something that is hard, but we all have our choices, like you said. We're all going to make them, and they're going to get us to where they're going to get us to where we. I'm sorry. The effort that we put in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how much effort we put in is where we're going to get. If it's a little effort, it'll get us a little ways. If we want to cheat and throw this and that in there and not be hardcore about it, well, it'll get you maybe somewhere, but, you know, we each have the choice to jump in or not.
Yeah,
and some of us are more critical than others.
Absolutely. And the thing is, we're more critical on ourselves.
Correct, yeah. Yep.
And a lot of us eat emotionally. I did then, and sometimes I do now. But that's something that I'm learning about myself. And it was created in my past, and I have to deal with it in my future. You know, and I had a choice. You know, acid. And we lived in a world of duality, right?
Right.
So there's the alkaline side, and there's the acidic side. okay? And we want to be in the middle. We don't want to be too alkaline because that's not good for us, and we don't want to be too acidic. That's not good for us. So finding the balance, mentally and physically, is really important. And we live in a world that's so acidic. I've never met anybody that was too alkaline, ever.
No.
So we're all falling on the acidic side because of our foods and our pasteurized liquids and everything around us, food-wise, is dead. And what we face is we can either deal with our acid because we want to, and we want to alkalize our body, so we can do it now, or we can be forced to deal with it later. And it's going to come out as cancer, which cancer is, a tumor is an exploded lymph node. That's what it is. It's cells, right? And I don't think we went over this. So your body basically is a bunch of cells. Eyes are cells, teeth are cells, skin is cells, lungs, heart, kidneys, everything is a cell. And there are two major fluids that take care of those cells and keep them healthy. The blood is the kitchen, and what the blood does is it brings nutrients and oxygen to the cells, and it runs around that cell, and that's how it feeds it. Well, everything that eats poops. So we have like 1 trillion cells. I'm not sure who counted those, but we'll just take their word for it. And as they poop, the lymphatic system is like your bathroom. And it cleans up that poop and keeps that acid from attacking that cell, as long as you're healthy. And it pulls that down into the lymph node. And it liquefies it, and it's supposed to come down and go out through the kidney. Well, when your kidneys aren't filtering, it stops that process. So it starts building. That acid starts building. And there are cells in the body that are cancer cells. Everybody has them. So as that acid builds and it starts to get in those cells, cancer starts to develop. And when that cancer starts to develop, I don't know if you've ever been around cancerous tumors, but they're almost all this yellow, pasty yuck with a little bit of blood. That's all lymphatic waste. That's all it is lymphatic waste. And if you get your body alkalized, because cancer cannot live in an alkalized body. It's impossible. It only lives in acid. So to get the kidneys filtering and get the right liquids and things in your body, it will soften that up, and it will bring that, it'll reactivate, and it will bring that tumor down. Red clover is a great herb that you can make a tea from that will shrink tumors. So that's anybody who's got cancer, they want red clover, marshmallow. There's a list of them, and I can put them underneath this in the description. So
I know, just not talking on cancer, but my sister has dealt with fibrous cysts in her breast, and she has for years, and they kept just wanting to cut and cut and cut.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I'm going to have nothing, and you're cutting them for what reason? And she ended up stopping having them do that. Well, she as well is now dealing with adrenal issues, and I've been helping her get on with like the Master Cleanse and the live foods and stuff. So she's been starting to juice, and I was so ecstatic to hear her say that those fibrous cysts were leaving, were gone. And she just started within a month, maybe. So it goes to show you that, yeah, that is lymph, that they're not telling you, they don't know, and so let's just cut. Sure. Well, why? Why are you cutting this? You don't even know. So it can happen. It happens every day. People don't get it, but
yeah, like It doesn't matter if it's a fibrous tumor or whatever it is, right? It's a trash can. The body's using to push the stuff off it doesn't know what to do with. Okay? And it's acidic, so it's shoving it as far away from the heart or as far away as it can to protect the core of the body. And then, you know, like the brain is going, uh-oh, we got some more of that stuff, send that up to that trash can up there. And then one day it goes to send stuff up, right? And the body says to the brain, what happened to that trash can? I don't know, somebody stole it. All I know is they left a bunch of drugs all around it. You know, and it's true because those lymph nodes, when we were talking about the bathroom, right? Those lymph nodes are your septic tank outside. And how many people, I don't care how much you know about bathrooms and sewers, you know that if they take that septic tank out, you're not going to use your bathroom anymore. And those lymph nodes, when they go in, they take out like 6 or 9, right? All these underneath here, when they have a radical mastectomy, they strip all those lymph nodes out. Well, those are your septic tanks. And they take the bad cells and run them down through the kidneys. So you don't have that anymore. So all that acid that goes up in there has no place to go. And it gets trapped there. And you have all kinds of issues. So don't let them take your lymph nodes.
Yeah.
You know, and alkalize your body. Use liquids and herbs and things like that. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy to reverse cancer because you're already starting late. But it's a whole lot better than letting them cut you open and strip all those out. And I posted a video that I did. It blows my mind. This is FDA approved. They have a machine that they put in your armpit, and it sucks your armpit up into it, and it microwaves your armpit to kill your sweat glands.
Oh my gosh.
Okay? Well, they said, and this is one of the big lies of the AMA. Well, because it's a microwave, right? It's a wave of energy, and it's frying your sweat glands. Their claim is it only gets sweat glands. Well, you know how many lymph nodes you have around here? There's tons of lymph nodes here, and they're in there with a microwave in that whole area. First, you need your sweat glands. If you're having issues with sweating, it's because your body's not detoxed. And if it smells bad, that is putrefied bacteria being shoved out through your armpit. If you're alkalized, your armpits will not sweat like that, and they won't smell when you do.
Yeah.
You know, it's like meat. Meat putrefies in your digestive system. It stays
in
there.
You smell like a fish when going through detox. I think I might have told you that, but
yeah,
smelled dead fish. It was horrid.
Yeah. But the other thing to remember is each layer that you get rid of is a layer you'll never have to deal with again.
Right.
So it's really...
That was a hard thing to remember or to know, that in going through these cycles, it was like, okay, well, am I backtracking? Am I backtracking every time thinking, I'm not getting anywhere? No, I was, and I am. It's, like you said, the layers, which until you understand that that's what's happening, you're getting past that next layer. You're not reverting back. You're just digging deep.
Yes. You're digging deep. And the deeper you go, the more horrifying the smells can be.
Yes. Yes. Without a doubt. Unfortunately.
So we're coming up to the end of the hour.
Wonderful. I could keep going and going. I know that. There's so much to talk about.
Yeah. And hopefully people found this helpful. And the beauty is, once this is posted, they can review it whenever they want to. So, and the other thing is, because I always found this great about tapes, because I grew up not being able to read or write, So I would have tapes of motivational speakers, and these guys make $50,000 a speech, and I could shut them off whenever I wanted to. And when I went back, they were exactly in the same place that I left. So the same thing is going to happen here. They can actually pause the video, go to something, and come back, and we'll be at the exact same word that they left at.
Exactly.
So that's a pretty powerful thing, and it's a great learning tool. So when I'm listening to like Dr. Morris or Dr. Kazar or John Bergman, some of the videos get pretty long. I actually, and this is the reason I'm talking about this, I pause the video and I minimize the picture after I bring another screen up. So I can go do something else, and the next day or whenever I have time, I can enlarge that and start the video again. And it's exactly where I left it off.
Exactly.
So that's really important to know that you don't have to shut it off and try to find out where you were or anything. You can just pause it, hit minimize. It'll be there for 2 or 3 days, and then you can go back and listen to it when you're ready to hear that. But I want
to just say that I wouldn't be here today where I am at this point if it wasn't for finding you, Gary. So thank you so much for sticking with me. Every message I sent you, every complaint that I sent you, it was not easy, and it was tough to go through. It was tough because I didn't understand, and I know that so many people that come to me and send me messages just where I was, and I hate seeing that, but I hope that this helps them understand that. Ask whatever you need to. We're here. I want to be able to help as you helped me, and I can't thank you enough for everything that you shared me from your heart, never expecting anything. So thank you.
You're very welcome, and thank you for sticking with me. You know, because you could have hung up at any time.
I could have, yes.
Yes. Okay. So that's really important, that when we have somebody that cares, I mean, that's why so many people are drawn to you, is you speak from the heart, and they get it. They totally understand what you're doing, what you're going through, that you're being honest. You post pictures, the parasites that you went through, and all this stuff. And I mean, most people would never show that, but it's honesty, and it's like, look, this is what I'm going through. This is what I did, and look at these things. Okay? Not many people know this, but you know that when you go to the bathroom, 1/4 of the waste you dump in the toilet is parasite waste.
Well, I am proof. I am a living proof. Posted and all. All my dirtiness is out there.
So,
but if we don't talk about it, people don't get help. And I was scared to death by myself, and I was struggling for answers from anybody. And if I can alleviate that for one person, I have done my job, and it couldn't make me happier to help. As far as, I don't care if it made me uncomfortable, which some of it, yep, sure has. Pretty raw and real, but I don't care. I just want people to get better.
And I'm really, really proud of where you started, what you've accomplished, and that over time, okay, you allowed the information in, because we fight the information at first, but you let it in, and then you started to share it.
Yeah.
And that is the single most important part of what any of us do, is that we're sharing the information and helping other people. Not everybody's ready to listen, doesn't matter. Not everybody can stay with the program. We can't get hung up in that. When they're ready, they'll either be here or they'll come back, and that's just part of their journey. So we have to just stay strong, be clear, uh, stick to what we do is not a good terminology, because we don't just talk about this, we live this.
Right.
And we live the juices, and we live the fresh fruits and vegetables and the smoothies, and we've brought ourselves out of, because it doesn't matter how much information I share, you have to actually do the work.
Work. Yeah.
Okay? And the body is simple. But when you have brain fog and you have aches and you have pains and you're having issues, it's really hard to get a grasp, especially when you first start, because nothing makes sense. Everything that we talk about is the reverse of everything we've been told. There is no hydration in the standard American diet. The liquids, not only is the food dead, do you ever notice when you go to a supermarket, what's the first thing you see? Fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, beautiful colors. And then as you go around the store, those are pictures on the boxes. So when you go in, that's your connection with nature. And your body goes, yay. And then as you go through the store and you see all these bright colors and labels and all these pictures and all this stuff, that isn't what's represented inside that box or that bottle. That is dead food. And a lot of it is GMO dead food with man-made sugars. And what happens is, I was just talking about this the other day. When you eat a candy bar, you're hiking, you need an energy boost, you eat a candy bar, that sugar and all those chemicals that are in that, your body doesn't know what to do with it. That's what that trash can, that tumor is about. It's shoving it out there, right? And it takes a lot of energy for it to do that. So what happens is your adrenals start putting out adrenaline. And you get a boost, you get a shot of energy. Well, you think it's the candy bar. No, it's your adrenals giving you that shot, because they're using the energy you would be walking on to try to get rid of this. And what happens when you finish the candy bar? You have a lull, and you get real tired. That's your adrenals shutting off, and you're going back on the old system. And there's no energy left. So what do? You have another candy bar.
Yeah.
So between stress, exercise, and constantly eating these man-made sugars and drinks and all this stuff, what's happening is you're burning your adrenals out, and you end up with adrenal fatigue. Whereas if you were drinking live liquids and your body was able to save that energy that it's using to, because 60% of your energy goes into your digestive system, with these liquids, we'll say it's only 10%. Well, at least 50 to go out to charge your body. So it's really, really important how you eat, what you eat, and that you listen to your body. So this has been awesome. I can't wait to do it again. If people send in questions, we'll make sure we cover them.
Yeah.
And always a pleasure to see your smiling face, listen to your laughter, and listen to you talk. And hopefully people find this helpful for them, and they can come back and use it as a guide, as a motivation. Make sure that they build a type of a positive mantra that they can fall back on. And even that's hard to do at first, because you can't remember it.
Exactly.
But you just keep, write it down, carry it with you, or whatever. Put it next to the mirror and try to look at it every day. And even if you just say it once to start your day, you're starting off in a good place. Because mental energy is really important. So Do you want to close the show out? Or?
I'll leave it up to you.
Okay. So this is Live Food Detox. If you want to send a question in, send it to www.livefooddetox@gmail.com. And we will be sure in the next show, which will be next Sunday, to get it on the air. Everybody have a great day. Keep detoxing. Listen to your body. If you're detoxing too fast, slow it down. And one of the best ways to really slow it down, if you're really having issues, if you're really going too fast, is a steamed sweet potato. That'll really slow it down, and it will give your digestive system something to work on. But it still has minerals and good nutrients in it. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us, and I will see you next time right here on Live Food Detox.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.